What up, world? What up, media? I am Drewize, and this is Drewize Topics. Thank you for clicking on this particular topic this evening, and thank you for viewing my previous videos here on this channel on YouTube called Drewize Topics. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart, sincerity. Thank you. Okay, excuse me. I want to talk about this topic and discuss this. You know, some believes in him, some believe that he once exists and walked in a physical form on this earth, going here and there, preaching about God. And he came as a sign of a correction of man. And he is referred as the second Adam. He is called in the Bible the wonderful Prince of all peace. He says, I am the way. And he was so wise. He had a conscience. He was so wise and awakened about God. You know, he was deeply misunderstood. People of religion of that time said this and that. You know, put him to death, present him to the government of that time called Rome. This man says, anyone that follows me and believes in me, believes in my teachings, believes in my way, carrying my name, he said, you will be persecuted, you will be hated, you will be thrown in prison and spat on for my sake. And he also said, the truth shall make you free. He was a black man that it describes him in Revelations, that he had hair like lamb's wool, and his feet was burned as fine as brass. And this man was not a pretty choir boy. No. This man, he was a man. He got angry. He got upset. You know, he got stressed out. He laughed. He was social. You know, he did wonderful things in God's sight. You know, he spoke to the masses of people. And he was starting to awaken the people. You know, he did wonderful things. He healed the sick. He cast out demons. He walked on water. He silenced the storm and said, peace be still. He caused a man to come back to life again. You know? And that man that I am talking about, a young man, some say he died at 33, 32, 36. Some say he's the son of God. Some say he's a prophet. Well, I say he is a wise counselor, teacher. And he was given to us, he came to us as a sign, and he's very important. And the topic is a man named Jesus. Okay. From Luke, John, Matthew, in them books, It talks about Jesus, you know. And Jesus was called by God and said, "It is time." Jesus was a carpenter, you know. He was taught to be a carpenter by his earthly father named Joseph. His mother, you know, was Mary. And Jesus was made and conceived in a way of the unknown. That's why nowadays they got Xmas. It means unknown. Jesus' birth, the way how he'd been made, how God came down in the form of a man and came upon Mary, you know, is unknown. You know, nobody don't know how he's been conceived. Nobody wasn't in that room with Mary and God, you know. Nobody was in that room. So, Jesus was called by God into the wilderness. And God strengthened Jesus through the wilderness for 40 days and 40 nights. In that time, from 40 days and 40 nights, Jesus was tempted by Satan. Oh, I know that's nerve-wracking. I know that's exhaustion. I know that's aggravation. I know that is pressure. I know that is very tempting. Because Satan, his talent is a persuasion, you know, and suggest and twist God's words around and make it seem like it's true, but it's very twisted. During those 40 days and 40 nights, Jesus said one word to Satan. He said, "Get behind me, thee Satan. You should not live by bread alone, but by every word of the true living God." And after that, Satan left. You know? Jesus was a wise young black man. You know? A wise man. You know? Jesus had a absolute knowledge of God. You know? He didn't say my God. He said our God. You know? Jesus, he wasn't no choir boy. He wasn't no soft talking man. I believe Jesus, he spoke with something that he got a backbone to that shake up and awaken the people. You know? And like I said, Jesus was a man and Jesus is not a God. You know? True enough, he was perfect. You know? But at the same time of that perfectness, he know how to come at things with a absolute correction. You know? Of no flaws. You know? This man was so wise. So wise about God. So wise. Jesus sat with people that was low lives. You know, low, scum of the earth. I'm talking about whores and drunks and tax collectors and thieves and everybody that was negative that was around Jesus. He hung with these people. But Jesus never got influenced by these people. Jesus started to turn these people around, you know, and have them renew themselves and repent. Jesus hung around prostitutes. Jesus hung around people that fight and and gossip and do whatever negative. Jesus hung around them people, you know? And them people that Jesus was hanging around with, they loved how Jesus talked about God. And some religious man came along and said, how can you hang with these people and you supposed to be a man of God? How can you hang with these hoodlums and these savages of people? You know? Jesus said, I come for this, and that. You know? And silence that religious man. You know? Jesus hung in parties. You know? Jesus was social. You know? Look what he did at the party of that wedding. He turned water into wine and stuff like that. You know? He had 12 disciples. Within those 12 disciples, there were never was drunks. You know? To me, they were like, true enough, they were followers. But he also was a bodyguard, whatever. But Jesus had faith in God of abundance. You know? Yeah. So, what I mean by Jesus got upset, it was a particular time when Jesus was in a place of worship, you know, and these people were selling merchandise in a, temple or synagogue, whatever, you know. Jesus got upset. He saw this. Jesus got so mad and started flipping over tables and just doing all this stuff. Like, you get out of this place. This is a place of worship and prayer. You know? He got upset. Jesus got stressed out. You know? People complaining. People coming to him for this and that. People just, oh my goodness. You know? And Jesus had a certain will that he stand up and stayed up all night praying to God. You know, the man did not even show no sign of fatigueness. You know, so when some of you workers that work third shift, try to pray that long overnight till morning. Jesus did it. You can't. You know. So Jesus, I can say this. Jesus came to us, like I said, as a correction of us, man and woman. But if you study Jesus' history in the New Testament, Luke, John, Matthew, this and that, you know, Revelations, whatever, you know, if you study this, you know, God never, ever, ever said, Jesus, you are a Christian. You can't find it. You know what I'm saying? Jesus spoke 3 languages. What is that? Ancient Egyptian, Hebrew, and Arabic. You know? So, the reason why people are called Christians, because the enemies of Jesus called the people that follow Jesus Christians. And the real symbol of Christianity, you know, of Christians is a fish. You know? Yes. Not the cross where you seen Jesus hanging from. No, that's not the symbol. That is a symbol of a cross of Constantine. And the cross means conquer. You know? Yeah. So the real symbol of Christians is a fish. You know? Jesus, you know, was deeply misunderstood. He got an argument with people of religion, of course, about his opinion. His wise opinion was absolutely correct, you know, but religious people said this, and that, you know. And people of that time thought Jesus was Satan because how he was performing miracles, you know. He said, how could this man perform miracles and stuff like that? How could this man I'm hearing about walk on water? How could this man I hear about casting out demons? How could I hear this man bringing forth the dead and stuff like that? How could I hear about this man? He's in the valley. He's causing dry bones to reattach themselves and stuff like that. How could I say that this man is this and that? That he can cause food to come down in a miracle and feed the masses of people. How can this man do this? You know what I'm saying? This man got to be Satan's child in the flesh. That's how religious folks thought Jesus was. You know? That's what I think about it. You know? So I look at Jesus, as a wonderful teacher, counselor, a person that says, I am the way. And also religious people said, how can he say that he is the way? That is just a man practicing witchcraft. That's what they said about Jesus, Yeah. So, Jesus said to them, they know not by what they do. Categorize what they say and think. So, Jesus, I look at it like this. Jesus, he didn't come to be exalted as a God or high God. Jesus was a man. That God anointed him with that power for a reason. Jesus' so-called purpose and mission was to bring men out of their error, bring men out of their triflingness, bring men out from their sins and stuff like that. Bring man and woman to God again. Yes. Jesus said about his kingdom, this and this and that. Jesus said, I will send someone. Who is that someone Jesus talking about? We don't know. Jesus also got into an argument with the Jews. Jesus said to the Jews, I know who you are. You're like your father, the devil, which he was a liar and a murderer. Yeah. Jesus also said to the Jews, when the Jews made a comment to him, he said, Abraham is our father and stuff like that, and we was not made out of fornication. Oh, Jesus said, okay, if Abraham was your father, you do the works of Abraham. Yeah. So, when Jesus, at that time, of that terrible time, of a certain particular disciple named Judas Iscariot betrayed Jesus, and Jesus already knew what he was going to do. You don't think Jesus sat down and think about and analyzed his disciples, seeing who's real, who's fake, who's trustworthy, who's a deceiver, who's a backstabber? That was the one. Judas turned Jesus into the religious people, and they took him, turned him into the government, And what did Jesus do when he'd been questioned by these men? Are you the Son of God? Perform a miracle in front of my sight. Jesus, what did Jesus do? Jesus did not say anything. Because he said, if I say something, you will not believe me. And Jesus said, what God forbids me to speak and things of that nature. So that means I speak what God tells me what to speak. So, When Jesus was hanging on the torture stake cross, and when he gave up his spirit, gave it up, the ground shake. It got dark like it was a storm cloud. Jesus could have called forth the holy angels up in heaven to rescue him. And they would have done it if God saw this. True enough, God saw Jesus hanging on that torture stake cross. He saw it. And God could have ordered the angels to go down and be Jesus' rescue. But God said, hold up. I got a plan for this. There's going to be a good outcome in this. And what did Jesus do? He rose on the third day, went straight to hell, went up to death, and took the keys from death. And it said he humbled himself. He humbled himself. He went to a place that is so wicked, is so foul, and all kinds of negative. A place like that, and took the keys from death, Yes. Jesus is a powerful being. Demons tremble when they hear Jesus' name. And they also tremble so much when they hear one of God's names. Check out when Jesus approached the man that was possessed with demons. The man said when he was possessed by demons, he responded to Jesus. He said, Jesus, my name is Legion. We are many. Are you going to judge us before our time? Cast us to this and that? Jesus took his hand and stretched it out in the fist. Opened it and caused them demons to go into the pigs, the hog, and them pigs, which them demons got cast into the pigs, them demons drowned in water. Yes. He healed that man from a demon possession. He healed him. And the man said, I will follow you wherever you go. And Jesus said, tell what happened, how you've been blessed and healed from this condition, of this wicked condition. So, I think he said, tell no one, what happened. Or he said, tell how you've been healed or something. So Jesus is a wonderful man. He's a wonderful teacher. He's a wonderful counselor. He's wonderful. He's perfect. Jesus never got tempted with women that had beautiful faces and nice form of body. No, he didn't come for that. He came for a purpose to do what? And that is get man and woman on a vertical upright path. And when he said go, untie the young colt and stuff, the donkey and stuff. The young colt, untie the young colt. If anyone asks, tell them the master sent for them. Want them and stuff. He's talking about us as a people. The black people is the young colt that's tied up. Yes. So, Jesus is a wise counsel of a man. He has a conscience. When you have a conscience, you're on a different level of how you think, how you approach things, how you talk. Yeah. So, we have to be his example. Be influenced. Speak truth because Jesus always spoke truth. He spoke it. And when he spoke truth, he became a threat in that day, a threat towards the people of religion, and the government, because he was awakening the masses of people, getting people to wake up. And just like now, and this time, man rose up, spoke truth, and stand on truth. The world will go against that. And it will say, you are a threat. And you're making us lose power of our control. And that is that. Drewize Topics. You can post a comment about what I just said if you like to. If you would like, subscribe, please, to hear more coming from me, more videos. And that is that. I am Drewize. Peace.